The internet is full of bad advice. Knowledge is power, education is the most powerful thing on earth. Read this and you're gonna be rich. Readers are leaders. Read, read, read. I've followed this advice for years. I've read and listened to almost 400 books and I'm still stupid. My day started with a smooth alarm clock, 6 a.m. I went to the bathroom, got a cold shower, brushed my teeth, took my phone, my book, and jumped right into my car. A nice, small, silver Volkswagen Golf. I've had like a 30-minute drive, and because I couldn't read while driving, I've listened to an audiobook. The time in the car had to be productive. It was difficult for me to spend time doing nothing or just listening to music. Everything I did had to lead to a specific result. I had to feel like I got 1% better every single day. My motto was, standing still means moving backwards. A quote that I also wanted to tattoo on my arm. My job at work was to call with the customers, to receive and to take orders, sitting in a chair the whole day and staring at a computer. I was very introverted at that time. Well, I'm still now, but it was kind of weird, and also I was very shy. I had a lack of communication and social skills, so I did not have the best connection to my colleagues there. We had a small 50-minute break at 9 a.m. and also a bigger one at lunchtime, 1 hour at 12 or 1 p.m. And reading wasn't cool there. I was the only person at work who had a book in his hands. Sometimes I felt like an alien. Everybody was busy with playing games, sleeping, or just swiping on Instagram. But I was so obsessed with the thought of getting more knowledge and learning more about success and personal development that I preferred being alone in a room separate from my colleagues. So I've read my books at work alone with full attention. I've listened to an audiobook in the morning and also many times in the evening when I was on the way back home. And when I was home, then I was normally reading there also. And also on the weekends, on Sundays, in my free time, I was reading a lot. And that's what I tell you here on social media, right? I can tell you today that wasn't really effective. I forgot almost everything. And it feels like it was just a waste of time. Why? Because our brain takes experiences over information. We have a very good filter system there. And the information that doesn't become experience will get deleted, destroyed, and thrown in the garbage. We don't have unlimited data capacity in our head. The brain needs to clean up its room. The famous pyramid of learning shows that we will remember just 10% of what we are reading. It's in the category of passive learning. That means after 70 hours without action, almost 90% of what we read could be gone. The information that we hear, like an audiobook, can last up to 20%, but I think that's not satisfying either. We as human beings are just able to keep our knowledge with active learning. This can be done by teaching others what you have learned, and also practicing, doing the things, bringing them into action. That's the only way how we can keep 90% of our knowledge without getting filtered out. I had these goals of being financially free and travel the world, doing whatever I want, whenever I want. And after a few years now, I'm on a very good way, to be honest. But I didn't make it because of reading. It was because I was executing. And that's again a reminder for you. I know you heard that before. You know these things. Practice makes perfect. Knowledge without action is meaningless. You know that stuff. You know that just watching this video will lead to nothing. So implement these 3 rules to finally stop over-consuming and overstimulating your brain. Never read a single book without practicing these 3 rules. Rule number 1. Don't just read. I can only name one book that I've really studied in my life. Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. An absolute masterpiece. And until today, out of almost 400 books, my favorite one ever. Maybe because I was taking that so seriously and bringing everything I could into action that I've learned the most about or out of this book. I remember having an extra notebook for that. I created extra documents with detailed results about bringing these learnings into practice. I tried all that stuff at work and the relationships with my colleagues there increased incredibly. I've read something and the day after, straight in the morning, I've tried it out and then captured the reactions and the results in my notebook. That was real studying and also pushing the information into my DNA. And it didn't feel like hard work. It was fun. I was experimenting, I was exploring, I was trying new things out and also getting dopamine after seeing then a positive result, a positive reaction or a positive change. Don't just read. Study the book by practicing and reflecting on it. That's how you grow. The Amazon link for How to Win Friends and Influence People is down below in the description. If you haven't already, buy it now. Rule number 2. Stop book hopping. I made the mistake of trying to look smart and professional with ordering as many books as possible and then put them into my shelf. And because I had so many options, I couldn't stick to one book. I started so many, but never finished them fully. Just read one book at a time. Don't give your attention to the other ones. And don't be that stupid like me and order just hundreds of books because you think they could be useful in the future. This can be an addiction. The feeling of holding the new New York Times bestseller in your hands. Only read what fits to your needs right now in that moment. Rule number 3 for the fastest progress. Execute before starting the new chapter. This one is my game changer today. Before you start the next chapter of your book, bring the things of the previous chapter into action first. Do not continue reading if you didn't do the exercises. Simply said, the knowledge will only last if you bring the things you are reading into a real life experience. Subscribe for more videos like this. Bye.